Welcome to the Sabrina Marie Show. I'm so happy you tuned in. Today we have Dr. Lisa Bennett, the optometrist. She's here to give us some advice on our eyes and also tell us how she got into the business. Hi, Lisa. Say welcome.
Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina Marie.
I'm so happy to have you on here today. I'm super excited. I finally got you. This is my eye doctor. She caught me, y'all. She caught me. She watched the show and she texted me and told me that, hey, you're squinting. Why are you squinting? Why don't you have your glasses on? And and she's the one who prescribed my glasses to me. So yeah, she caught me. I met her back at my salon in Stony Point. That was Stony Point, right? That was Stony Point. And Stony Point, she would come in and she would walk around and look at my retail products and everything. And then we would talk about hair. And she was always so nice and she always kept coming back. And then one day she invited me to an event that she was going to. And, you know, I was that type of person who didn't like to go anywhere, like to do anything or anything like that. So I was like, you know what, maybe I will go. Maybe, you know, she seems really nice. She seems like a nice lady. You know, she don't seem all rah-rah and, you know, a lot of mess and trouble. I was like, yeah, I think I will go ahead and go to her event. And I had an amazing time. So thank you for inviting me to your event. I really appreciate it.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Dr. Bennett. So Dr. Bennett, I want to ask you a few questions. Maybe you can help some of our viewers and a person like me, because like I said, she diagnosed me to wear bifocals. I was devastated because I'm not wearing no glasses. I'm not going to do it. Guess what, guys? I can't see. Crap. I have to put these glasses on for real. And she had a good suggestion for me. She told me that I need to get some contacts. What are they called again?
Bifocal contacts.
Bifocal contacts. So my whole thing is, I'm afraid to put something in my eyes. I told her the whole story. I was like, listen, when I was like 18 or 19 years old, and you know the color contacts when it was super popular, and I wanted the hazel eyes. Well, I went to the store and I tried to get those hazel eyes, and I was having so much trouble trying to put them in. I was crying, and then I scratched something, and then it hurt, it was burning. I was like, never again, I'm wearing contacts. And now she's telling me, you know, you need to wear contacts because you don't wear your glasses often enough and your eyes are not getting any better. So yeah, she's going to help me put them in. Well, Miss Lisa, Dr. Bennett, I want to ask you a few questions about how you got into your business and when you got your start as an entrepreneur and a doctor as well. So, you know, tell our audience just a little bit about yourself before we go dig right on in and everything. Just tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you do.
Okay, I'll give you the short version. I was working at a lens crafters. Let me back up a little bit before that. I had made up my mind I wanted to be a doctor, and it was just a matter of what I wanted to specialize in. And I wasn't thinking about optometry at all. I was thinking about, I don't know, chiropractic, osteopath. I had ruled out MD because I'm not in love with allopathic medicine, but I took a job. I needed, you know, gas money. So I took a job at Lens Crafters. And when I was there, I had met some of the optometrists. I started talking to them and I said, wow, that's what I'm going to do. So that's the short version.
Wow. So you were thinking about you wanted to be in the field of being a doctor, but you wasn't sure. So that's so weird when you go, because it's such a big field, and to know that it kind of fell in your lap and you fell in love with it. That's amazing. So what what excites you about the business now? Or does it still excite you?
It does. Amazingly, it's been 25 years since I graduated from optometry school, and it went by in a flash. I am still very excited. It's always been a very interesting field, because you have that personal part where you deal with the people, and then also there's a puzzle. My mind always goes, I like to solve puzzles. So getting the right script and the right modality for that patient to live their lives and be able to see well and function well, that's a puzzle that I enjoy doing, and I never actually waned, because people are different, so every day is a different day. The best part of my job is meeting different people and learning stuff. I learn stuff. I'm a doctor, but I still learn stuff from the kids. I see people from age 3 all the way up to however old they are, and I can learn something from each and every one of them.
Amazing. So let's go back just a little bit. So did you have to go to college to be an eye doctor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about schooling.
You need 4 years of undergraduate, unless you're in a special program where you only need 3. They combine that last year of undergrad for the first year of optometry school, which is 4 years. So most people are doing 8 years of college. So your undergrad, you take your basic pre-med courses, which includes physics, chemistry, biochemistry, biology, all of them with a lab, calculus. Those are the real pre-med. And then there's also your basics like English, because you have to know how to communicate and talk to people. And then your basic, whatever else you want to take in terms of your undergrad degree. And then you apply to optometry school. And I think the last that I have counted, there are maybe just 16 in the country, and it's a 4-year program. And it is all day. It's like a job. It is. Seriously, it's like, well, I was used to undergrad, where I tailored my last couple of years in undergrad, where I could take all my classes on Tuesday and Thursday and then work the rest of the week. So when I got my schedule for optometry school, I was like, well, I think I'm only going to do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. She said, no, you're going to do Monday through Friday. You're going to start at 8 and you're going to leave at 5. That's your schedule.
See, people like you are so amazing to me, because I just don't have the patience, and I just couldn't sit still long enough to be able to do that. So I find people like you are so amazing to be able to take the time out and to study on that level. That's awesome. And we need people like you, girl. We need people like you. I know that I do. So what are you looking forward to in your business moving forward?
I am looking forward to really trying to break out of the mold of what everyone thinks optometry is. Optometry is the providing health care for the eyes. So if you have an infection, if you have glaucoma, if you have a cataract, I'm trained to look at all of them. I'm the gatekeeper, like your primary care provider. I am primary care provider for the eyes. Most people are thinking about, oh, she prescribes glasses and contacts, and I do that too. Both sides, the medical side and the refraction side, has undergone a lot of change. A lot of new technology has come about in the last few years, and I'm looking forward to practicing more fully, leaving really the corporate business, and God willing, being able to offer a lot of new refractive treatments where you don't have to have any surgery to correct your eyes, and a lot of preventive techniques, diagnostic techniques, where we can get an early start if you have any glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy or any other kind of disease. Once macular degeneration, because once you start early in any disease, then the prognosis is much higher of you being able to get better. I actually have a patient whose eyes are better than when she was.
Get better?
Her eyes got better. I diagnosed her with macular degeneration, and I just collaborated with an ophthalmologist who confirmed. So we both agreed that this was the diagnosis. I recommended her actually just to take some supplements. And she came to me and she goes, oh, you know, I take them once in a while. I'm like, hey, if you want to get better, you're going to have to take them every single day. You're going to have to take the full prescription every single day. So she did that. And when she came back, her eyes were actually seeing much better.
Wow, I need some kind of remedy for my eyes to get better, or is it too late?
No, I just got to get you to cooperate.
Do you find that you have those issues with your clients, like they know they need their glasses, but they don't want to really wear them unless they got to do like, oh, I got to see this, like I really got to see this, or I got to drive home?
Yes, from the moment I open the office door to the time I leave, I have those patients, yes.
Well, Lisa, I do want to get a little bit deeper, and I want to get to know you a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more about your story. Like, you know, give me a little bit more about you, personal.
Personal? When
Into the business. What made you get into the business besides why did you need money? Was you a poor college student like the rest of the world?
Well, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I grew up middle class in Long Island, New York.
Ooh,
and yeah, I grew up.
That's why we click, you know that, right? That's probably why we got. That's probably
in New York.
Yeah, because you know, listen. We met in Virginia, and just so happened you happen to be from New York. You know,
Right.
You know, us New Yorkers, we just kind of sniff each other out for some reason.
This is true. We got that vibe going on.
Virginia.
So I grew up in Long Island, very middle class, not upper middle class, but definitely comfortable. And but there, you know, I knew I needed all along that I needed to make a living for myself. And I was always pretty smart. I was on the National Honor Roll student, National Honor, I forget the name. It was 4 of us in the high school National Honor Society that were chosen. So I knew I had a little bit of brains there. But in high school, I didn't really know, you know, which path to go, but I figured I can figure it out with my education. So I went ahead to school, and then when I got out, I says, okay, I need to get married. So I got married, but that marriage didn't quite work out. And I was thinking I was going to be, you know,
get married.
Huh?
You just said, oh, I just need to get married.
No, it wasn't like that. You know, I wanted a family and all. And but the marriage didn't quite work out, and I was kind of more I wasn't a stay-at-home wife, but he was the breadwinner, let's put it like that. But when my marriage started to dissolve, I knew I needed to make an income where I could have a lifestyle that I really wanted, a middle-class lifestyle at least. So from there, I started, okay, that's when I decided I wanted to be a doctor because it suited my personality and the income, and I could give back. I'm always giving back. You know, everybody comes in, if I can fix them in such a way that, you know, they could function better in their life, then, you know, I feel good about that. That's why I get up every day to do that.
That's a blessing. And look how amazing that is. This is just to show you women are always so strong no matter what we go through. If we don't like what we're going through, we just pull ourselves up our bootstrap and do what we have to do to get to where we're trying to go. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So Lisa, tell me, what are you looking forward to now? Like how far do you want to take your business? Like are you really trying to retire out in this field, or like, no, yes?
Well, yeah, I love optometry. So yeah, I want to just make it bigger, and live it out as much as I can. I want to be able to offer everyone what we say is I want to practice to the fullest extent of my license. So I want to do that. I also I consider myself an ambassador for good vision. So I want to get the word out that people do need to come in more often. Don't come to see me when your hypertension has gotten out of control and you have a hemorrhage in the back of your eye. Come to see me every single year so I can, sorry?
That could happen?
It has happened. This has happened. I've had patients that come in after 5 years of not having an eye exam, and they're like, oh, I can't see out of my right eye. I'm like, yeah, you're right, because you have a hemorrhage there. So I'm going to have to refer you for surgery, number one, and I'm going to have to refer you to your primary care provider and have your meds adjusted for your high blood pressure. It was a happy ending.
It's like all to like everything intertwines with each other. That's scary.
Well, hypertension is a systemic condition, and there are a lot, as we say, ocular effects from systemic disease. The most popular one, or most one that's talked about a lot, is diabetes. And I want to educate people that, hey, you have diabetes, but you don't have to go blind. Come to see me. Let's see what we can do. Here, I can examine you. If I think you need some supplements, which there are some supplements now for preventing diabetic retinopathy, then certainly I can offer that to you. Just the whole education piece is where I'd like to take it a lot further right now. I'm not going to leave the clinic, but I still want to be more of an educator, more of a public relations for vision, how to maintain your vision.
That's awesome. And just even talking to you right now, and as you saying that, and like being that we're like quarantining and we're staying at home right now, and I'm pretty, well, I'll ask you, have COVID-19 affected your business? Like, do you guys are you considered essential right now? Do you have to be out, or you make a choice to stay home? Like, how's that working for you? And when you answer that, I have something else I want to add on to that, because I could see you doing your classes now online, teaching about that, because just you calling me and talking to me and showing me what I need to do to put my contacts in and breaking it down to me, it seems more, seems like I can be able to do it more than I thought that I could. So I think that is something that you have right there that is very, that's very needed. That's very needed, especially if I can't get to you.
Well, I'm not doing anything online right this moment. COVID-19 has affected all optometry in that we are not doing routine eye exams now. So, for instance, you need contact lenses, but right now I can't see you to give them to you or examine you for that. The offices are open for emergency only. So we're pretty much shut down. We have to be pretty close to our patients when we examine them. We can't do the 6-foot distancing. Some of the offices have a digital refraction where I could use an iPad and control it from 6 feet away. But when I do the eye health assessment, I have to be within arm's length of the patient. So that's just not, something at this particular point that we can do. Going forward, it's going to be interesting. A lot of face shields, maybe there's the clear shield is something we'll have to consider when we go in a face shield for the patient, because the exam rooms are pretty small. They're only 8 by 12. So you really cannot do the social distancing in there. So a lot of things are going to have to be, re-examined to ensure we're following the CDC rules.
Right. So I know that they're talking about Virginia opening back up on May 8th. First it was June 10th, and then I heard May 8th. How do you feel about that? Are you concerned? Are you ready to go back?
Well, of course, I'm concerned. Like I said, the rooms are pretty small. So the social distancing is not something we can do. we're going to have to monitor who comes into the office. That would be the office manager who would say, okay, you're number 11, so go sit in your car. We'll let you know when to come in.
Wow, this is
But
different.
yeah,
It's very
so yeah, we have to really consider that, and mostly the social distancing piece, and that's really we have to have, as they call, the PPE when we are doing the exam, so we're not spreading anything and we're not catching anything. So what was the second part of your question? Am I looking forward to it? I mean, I like what I do. I've been kind of busy at home doing a couple of things. So
catching
like,
up, catching all things that you couldn't do before, having the time to do all that stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of things personally. I found a lot of my old jazz music, so I'm enjoying that. I'm working, I wrote a blog for Boomer Connections. It's an online magazine. So I started my education part in written form. Anybody can go on there and take a look. I put up together a calendar of blogs.
How to get to your blog?
It's boomerconnections.com. And then
say it again.
Boomerconnections.com.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I sent you a copy. But so yeah, just to kind of alleviate the anxiety, that particular blog I had started before we were shut down. So it's on cataracts. However, and everybody's very concerned about cataracts, and not that you shouldn't be, but it's manageable. They're very manageable, cataracts. And most people get very scared, but by the time you get to 40, you've had enough exposure to UV light, and that's one of the main risk factors for developing a cataract. So most people are going to have a little tiny yellowing of the lens, which is what a cataract is, and a high percentage are not going to need any surgery. But for those who do, it's a pretty standard procedure. You know, you go in the morning to the surgery center, you come home at night. The next day, you go back to the doctor's office, and you can see pretty well without any glasses in the distance. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on, and I could still continue. But because I'm set up, I kind of set myself up, because when I'm working, I'm seeing patients all day long, 16, 17, 20 patients a day. When I get home, I don't have the stamina to actually do those type of things.
Right, right. Well, take advantage. I say that we all should take advantage of some of the things that we all want to do. I've been getting some things done around the home, and working on some projects and filling out some different things that I've been trying to get to before. And, so yeah, this is a good time to like really take the opportunity to do what you have to do. The world has slowed us down. But let me ask you another question. What is a defining moment for you in your career? What is one of the defining moments for you?
In my career?
Yes.
I would say when I first decided to become an optometrist and pursue that, at that point, I was the first person in my family to have an undergrad degree, and then to actually go on to postgraduate, and the idea of becoming a doctor, that was it was like, whoa, my head exploded. But I sat down and I thought it through, and I was blessed to have people around me to support me with that. So that was really the most defining thing. And then after that was that very first day when they hand me the chart, say, okay, here's your first patient. And then remember the person that handed it to me, she goes, well, you got to start somewhere. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. So yeah. And that's something I said to my niece. She's a nurse practitioner. So I said, how's the job going? She goes, oh my God, I need more training, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that feeling. You got to start somewhere. So
I do want to say to you, that's a huge deal. And especially coming, you know, being African American and to go in a field like that and to stick with it and to study and to have a support system behind you to keep pushing you forward and to actually accomplish it and to be working in your field, that's a major deal and a major accomplishment. So I applaud you on that. If I'm sure you heard it from your family and your friends and stuff, but I applaud you on that because that's not an easy thing to do. And that's a big, major accomplishment. And, you know, I'm super happy to even know you, to know that, you know, that I know who's done something like that. That's amazing. That's
well,
awesome.
Thank you so much. And you're pretty amazing yourself. I know that in the National Optometric Association is constantly recruiting. We'd like to have other African Americans to be in the field as well. And we, as an organization, definitely will lend support to all of our students. I don't want to say the percentage because I don't know, but we're very underrepresented in the field. There's quite a number of us in the National Association, but in terms of the percentage out of all the optometrists, it's kind of small. So it's achievable.
Lisa, there's a lot of studying. Most of us don't have.
Well, I want to encourage you. Let me tell you, you know, I'm just blessed to have a curious mind. But you know, it just takes discipline. It does, and you got to figure out, you know, how you're going to do it. When I went to optometry school, like I said, I was there from 8 to 5. So when I got home at 6, I had dinner and I went to bed, and I would sleep and maybe like 4 hours, and then I'd get up and I'd study for another 3 or 4 hours, and then I go back to bed again. So I slept in like 3 or 4 hour shifts. So you just have to figure out how to get that done. And there are plenty of smart Black people. So I'm just going to say it like that.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
It's usually,
so it is doable.
Usually it's like, we got to work, we got to make this money, we got to pay the rent, we got to do this, we got to do that, got to take care of his kids, I got to do this and that. It's usually a lot of that going on at a young age. And when you have a child that's in college, I always try to support because, like I told my daughters, you know, they were so ready to get out in the world so quickly. And I'm like, listen, enjoy high school, enjoy being on track, enjoy being a cheerleader, enjoy the basketball, enjoy going to college, enjoy going to games and things like that. Trust me, you have a lot of time. You don't want to rush into paying bills, you know, like go to the school and actually do the work and do it. Like you have a support system to allow you to do that. And sometimes people don't have that, you know, they have to go to school full time, work full time, and have a baby on their hip. Like, okay, let me just, for instance, like.
Well, let me say this. I rushed out there. I got the same advice from my mom. Because I was 16, I was still in high school. I was like, I want to work. I want to get my work permit. I want to work. She says, you can work the rest of your life, so don't rush it. But I still went and got my job. And then I went to undergrad. And after that, as I said before, I did get married. And so, because I was ready to have my life and start my life. However, I decided I didn't want to. And you can work it out. You say, oh, you know, you don't want to study and it's hard and it's this. It's doable. I wasn't married when I went to optometry school. I'd gotten out of that marriage, but there were several classmates that were married. There was at least 2 or 3 women who had kids when they were in optometry school. One, she was able to deliver in May, so the school year was out. She didn't have to take time off. However, there was someone else who delivered in January, so she had to wait, have the baby, and then go back. But still, it's doable. I know it seems like a lot, but it is doable.
Right. And my sister is a really great example. And I like to use her because I actually watch her with my own eyes. She had 3 children working a full-time job and was able to manage to get her master's degree. And now she has her own business and her PhD, and to have her own business in her field is, when she graduated, I cried like a baby because I knew how hard it was. I saw with my own eyes how this girl was taking care of 3 of her kids as a single parent, working a full-time job and studying all night and doing the work and everything, and to get her master's. When she walked across that stage, because I think because you don't really pay attention to why you're going through it and why you're going through it. But when I actually saw her walk on stage, it's just like I got so emotional and the tears just started rolling down, because I'm like, do you know how hard this is to have children that you gotta feed? It's one thing to go and you don't have anything attached to you, and that's hard in itself as well, because you still gotta feed yourself. But to be responsible for 3 other children, 3 other mouths, that was crazy, and I was just so super excited. So I know that it's definitely possible to be able to complete, especially when you got good people that are smart like you guys, that go out there and make sure we look good, make sure we got the right eyes and everything. I love that about you guys. I love it. I love it, Lisa. So Lisa, let me ask you another question. Our last question I would like to ask you. What's the most important thing that we should know about you?
Well, that's a pretty broad question. I am
in your business. Let's say, we can stay in your business. Something that's the most important thing, about you in your business and about your service.
in my service. I'm pretty relentless in terms of solving your issues. I will go that extra mile, and I had some of my patients actually say that. Education is another huge thing for me. I won't just say, oh, here's your prescription, bye. I'm like, here's your prescription. This is what it means. This is how it changed from last year. I don't have a crystal ball, but this is based on what I see now. This is what I'm expecting next year. So let's make sure we meet up again next year. So the education piece and the persistence that I'm actually working on your behalf for your good, that's, I think, one of the things you should know about me.
Before we go, Lisa, I would love you to give some information on how viewers can get in touch with you, how they can get in touch and watch your blog, if they would like services provided, if you have a website, your social media handlers, if you have social media, how could people get in touch with you?
I have a Facebook page. It's Dr. Lisa Bennett. I have a website.
Repeat that.
Dr. Lisa Bennett, Dr. Lisa Bennett. That's my Facebook page. So there's a lot of information, just kind of some fun things, and then about eyeglasses and eyes, and then some good information on there. And also, I do have a website. It's spectrumoptometric.info. That's spectrum, like a light spectrum, optometric.info. And I,
Lisa?
Spectrum, SPEC.
Spell the whole website out for us, please.
SPECTRUMOPTOMETRIC.info. So I'm going to be changing that sometime in the near future. I know it's really long, but we got to start somewhere, as they say. So that's what it is for now. And then if you want to email me, that's Dr. Bennett, drbennett.optometry@gmail.com.
Awesome.
So I just want to say, I know you said, oh, it's a lot of studying and stuff. All this is achievable. It really is. You just have to find your folks that could help you to achieve your goals and support you. Some of my family members didn't support me. They're like, oh, it's your family. No, I had to leave some people alone. And I was blessed to have some other people step right in. So you just have to know that if this is what you want and you have the intellectual ability and the discipline, then please, by all means, go for it. We do need more minority optometrists of African descent. We need doctors that look like a lot of our patients, and our patients are not getting the care that they should. And also, like any other health field, there's a higher prevalence of glaucoma and cataracts, diabetic retinopathy, because they're just not seeing us the way they should. So we do need some help in this field. And if anybody's watching and you think this is something that you want to pursue and you want to talk to me about that later, just send me an email and we can talk some more about it.
And there you have it with Miss Lisa, Dr. Lisa Bennett. She's awesome. You want to get in contact with her. She has left her information, and it also be left at the bottom of the screen as well. I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Sabrina Marie Show. And guess what? Never let them see you sweat.